check out these spicy patch notes.
Dude, I'm so jazzed about this game. I can't, dude, I'm addicted. I am fucking addicted. I'm hooked. I didn't even know I needed this in my life right now. I didn't even know I wanted this in my fucking life right now.
Never thought I'd see the day Sim be playing Tarkov again.
Get the fuck
right.
Sorry, I had to do it for Enigma.
Nope, get out of here. Where's that? Mute. You're done. I'm muting it.
Oh, thank you, Scruffy.
God damn it.
I got you.
I will boot each and every one of you out of here that call it Tarkov. I swear to God, play with me, fuck around with me, and find out.
Oh my God.
Okay. Am I unmuted?
Yes, you're unmuted.
Let's go.
So the game that I am talking about is Gray Zone Warfare. Myself and Scruffy both have been playing it. I have dumped an exorbitant amount of hours in it since it came out on Tuesday. I want to clear something up very, like, why it pisses me off about this whole, like, Tarkov thing or whatever else. Like, when you play this game, like, the only thing that is Tarkov is that they have vendors, right? They have tasks that you have to get done, and you have the locker system to it, right? Aside from that, like, yeah, you're going to mod your guns, but there are plenty of other games that go just as in depth with modding their guns and all of that kind of stuff. That's about where this ends when it comes to Tarkov. Like, Tarkov is a forced extraction shooter PvP game where you are going in and you are basically forced to interact with either other people and or AI within a single instance game zone, and you have to extract. That's not what this is at all. Like, this is more akin to what I would say, like, if DayZ or Arma or even Deadside, Squad, yeah, maybe, but like Deadside, Arma, DayZ. If those all three kind of had a baby, right? That's what this is. There is no extraction other than the sense that you get to a helo, right? You get to a zone and you call for a helo to come in and pick you up and take you back to your base. And it's a military base. That's a safe zone. That's just like Deadside. Deadside has 2 military zones. This has your base. You go and you do it. Like, this game is a very, very, very PvE with organic, very organic PvP. Like, that's what this game is. And you're going to, and all of it is a persistent world. There's no like, you load into your server. There's no other load times. Like, there's no load times. I know for a fact that Pika right now is just trying to poke the bear, because I have been in conversations with him when he is like, no, this game's not Tarkov. It's not Tarkov. Shut up, Pika. So it is. So yeah, you go in, you have missions that you're going to go do, and it's a persistent world. It's always on. Like, the servers are always on, and it doesn't ever, there's no load times. Like, if you want to go from one point of the map and walk your happy ass all the way across the other map, you absolutely can do it. There's 3 factions. There's the Crimson, CSI Crimson Shield Initiative, I think. The Lemang, I don't know all their names. It's basically Crimson, Lemang, and Mithras are the 3 different factions. And
that's a Tarkov thing though too, right?
Tarkov has
factions. They have 2 factions. They have bears and PMCs, right?
But it's
and
not
scavs.
Well, scavs is not a faction. It's just an AI.
Scavs are,
it's
AI, but
you're still running as a scav, right?
You could play as like an AI scav, like a player scav.
You can't play as a player scav in this. There's not that's
what we're saying. There's 3 factions in Tarkov. There's 3 factions in this.
So you can kind of consider scavs a faction, I guess.
But the other side of it though is that the factions in Tarkov don't mean a thing. Like, outside of just being like, oh, I'm a bear, I'm a whatever else. Like, they don't really. But they don't. It doesn't mean anything. Like, it doesn't do anything right now. Like, there's nothing that doing.
I haven't played Tarkov in a while, but I thought it unlocked stuff. But.
Nope. Like, you're literally it's just choosing a faction, choosing kind of like there may be a few different like gun choices, but it's very few and far between. This one is very faction. Like, your faction is your faction, and you see your faction on the map, and you will engage with other factions, and again, it's no holds barred there, right? But you are, like, in Tarkov, you kill your own faction, it doesn't matter. Like, you're just killing anybody. It doesn't. You don't know if you're killing a bear. You don't know if you're killing a USEC. Doesn't matter. This one, Like if you kill your own faction 3 times, you're booted from the server. And on top of that, if you're in a squad, you can't re-queue back up to the same with your friends for 24 hours. If you kill again, you get a 72-hour ban. If you do it a 3rd time, you get and again, this is killing your own faction 3 times over, right?
I don't like that.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
I actually
because
really dislike that.
I actually have a problem with stuff like that because, and this speaks from experience. I show my dad these kinds of games. I've introduced him to like Hell Let Loose and like Izanzo and stuff like that, and he sometimes doesn't know the difference. Like, that's just being an older generation. For people who aren't as like, that aren't as gamer-esque as us, like that can see these minute differences, like they don't know why they're being banned for these reasons. Like I think that's a problem.
I think not just that, but
on that kind of thing.
Not just that, but I think in my opinion, if you're going to be that hardcore with the bans, just give people the ability to not choose a faction and just be against everything. If that's the case.
Or like if there's obviously an intentional griefer, like which is why I feel like they have these systems in place, like zone out, like these people are killing this amount of people in like a very short amount of time, like they're obviously griefing, like try to make some sort of system to like differentiate that,
or do it. Or do it like GTA does and just throw them into a server with the same kind of people like that. I don't know.
I mean, I don't
cap you.
Like a 72-hour ban seems weird.
I mean, to nobody's fault. You ran in front of me. I was just fucking around, but I was shooting. You almost ran in front of me. I would have got penalized nearly for just accidentally killing you.
Hold on. You would have gotten penalized if you would have done this 3 times over, right? Like
exactly. But I could throw a grenade and kill somebody and not be an accident.
You're right. I'm not. When I am agree, I'll agree with
a bit severe.
I don't think so, because I think that it really it really curtails a lot of what I have seen so far as team killing. I've watched plenty of people been playing on this online, and you don't see it. You see a lot of camaraderie, a lot of work. Now, like Pika and Panic, they were in a match, and so was my son. And this dude was a complete douchebag, and literally was just like, he was on the same faction, and we play Crimson, and he, everyone's calling out, be like, hey, like, friendly on your right, friendly coming up the stairs, friendly. This dude was like, fuck you, and literally boom, 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 and just gunned them all 3 down. And it was like, what, and out, boom, immediately
that's
gone.
That's obviously griefing, but that's different than just like accidentally killing somebody.
Right. I mean, I understand, but like again, and I understand that it can be somewhat a little harsh, but at the same time, I also will challenge and say, how many of these games have come out? How many times do we complain about, people that are griefers and it doesn't take, they don't do anything about it, or the systems aren't good enough to handle it or deal with it. I do agree, Enigma, like, hey, like at a certain point, put them in their own fucking lobbies, let them grief themselves. Well, I've also said they should have their own faction. Go ahead. Yeah,
that's what I was about to say. It just seems like the easier way of dealing with that would just be like throw them into like a pirate faction or something like that. If you're going to go down that route, instead of banning them and making it so that they can't play a game that they purchased for 72 hours because they killed somebody in game,
they
let them continue to play the game.
They can still play it. They cannot play with their friends within a squad within that certain amount of time. And then
but again, we're doing semantics here. Like if you're playing the game with a group of people and then you're banned for 72 hours, that would piss me off.
But you're talking
even if it was just like accidentals.
You're now talking about like not just 1, not just 2, not 3, but 4 times of killing 12. That's basically killing 12 people. But
again, you can do that easily with a grenade throw on accident, like that.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, like, I like the system, and I am someone that loves to fucking just be.
I get where you're coming from. I really do. I understand it, because I'm right there with you. I think that they do need to curtail, and that's one thing that we've talked about in the past with certain other games like League of Legends that didn't curtail the toxicity quick enough. So now their entire community is built off of toxicity essentially, but. To me, this seems like it's an overreach or an overstep.
Most of the community is actually like really positive about it. They like the ban system and what's going on.
Maybe even having something to the point of like, if you're a low level, it's less egregious than it is like if you're like level 10 to 15 or something.
Because
I don't know, just something to get that learning curve out of the way.
You also have to understand too that because of like the way that the LZs work and like how you get in and out, like you easily could just have someone that's just like, fuck it. Like I'm gonna sit by the LZ, and I'm just gonna pop people that are coming off the LZ that are on the same team because I want their gear, and I'm gonna and that's it, right? Like,
well, sure, yeah. I mean, but that is what I'm saying. Like if they need to make sure that they have a system in play to like really zone in on the people who are obviously griefing.
Yeah, but how
are just trying to play the game.
I mean, we say that, but how hard is that? That's not exactly the easiest thing to do.
I mean,
either.
No, but yeah, I mean, like there's griefers are going to obviously go for like team kills and stuff like that, and you know they're not gonna just like wait on it. I mean, if some are, then maybe, but I don't know.
So
I think that still is pretty egregious to the point of like.
So I just want to
bans and stuff like that.
I just want to make sure. So when you get banned for that kind of thing, you can still play the game. You just can't play.
Still play the game. You cannot play your games with like your so. Your first,
the people you were queued with,
right? If you're queued up, your first band, because what happens is you can join your. If I'm in a squad, I can join your server, right? So I can join in on your server. So they're stopping you, saying, "Hey, you were in this server, you were being an ass, right? Or whatever else, or you know, you had the 3 team kills, so you're not getting back in that server. You can go to another server.
Your squad can leave that server and go to a different one, and then you could join them.
No,
you still can't play with them.
You cannot play with them for the first. It's for 24 hours for that first ban.
Yeah, I don't know. That just to me seems like it's essentially the same thing. It's just they're basically putting the problem onto another server at that point. They really should just have servers for griefers if that's the case. Like,
sure. I mean, I don't disagree with that. Again, and I'm not saying it's the most perfect system. I'm just saying I don't mind it. The community's not liking it, and I've said multiple times. I was like, hey, like one of the things I think that should be done, because one of the big things about this game, and what I want to spend a lot of time on, is the organic nature of this. Like there is like, you know, I really, really love the fact right now, especially there's no wiki. There will be wikis for everything. It just is the nature of the beast. But like we are playing with no wikis, and the map is very like, you know, they give you a map, it's very minimalistic. Like, and as you continue to like, you're organically pushed to discover stuff, engage with the game, talk to people that are around, like, you know, your like I was in a mission yesterday, and I was like by myself, and I said, hey, I've got to get this mission done. Do you know where this is at? And I'm communicating with someone, another fellow person in my faction, right? He's like, oh yeah, it's over here. And like he helped me get there, right? Like I'm one of the most toxic pieces of shit in PvP games, and I'm legitimately just being like, yo, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna have like be friendly, like I want to know, I want to help. And so the organic nature of this game is what's beautiful. So I would say, like, I would love for them to do something that is extremely organic, right? And maybe, and again, it's something that you kind of have to stumble upon, where like, oh, you can choose to denounce your faction, right? But you have to kind of like stumble upon that, and then you denounce your faction, and now it's a fucking free for all. Like you're a pirate faction, you can do whatever the fuck you want, and maybe they'll implement that later on. I don't know.
That's what I think they need to do, honestly. Because like if you're gonna be that heavy handed with the punishment, just it seems to me like they're just shunting the problem off on another server. Like there needs to be more of a I'm not saying like more of a heavy-handed like punishment for them, but like if they suddenly are flagged like pirate, or if they're suddenly flagged like this opposite faction, and now all 3 factions are able to basically gang up on them, that to me I feel would be more of a deterrent than just now you can't play on that server. Right.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I think something like that would actually be kind of fun too, like a rogue.
I think it would too. Yeah.
I mean, again, yeah. You know, and the other things that because again, we spent a good amount of time, and we have to move past this. But it's such, like, I think that it's getting it, you know, in the wake of Tarkov, right? That's happening, all the bullshit that's going on with Tarkov. Like, I get why it's being compared with it, but it's unfair to compare the game to Tarkov when the only elements that it has is very minute in the sense of what it is. Like the game,
I don't really think it is. They're not comparing it because of like toe to toe with Tarkov. That's just the closest thing that people can compare it to.
Yeah,
right, but
that's
what
it is like
Tarkov-esque. It's just like we were talking about Souls-esque.
It's not. It's not Tarkov-esque. Like
it is 100% Tarkov-esque.
It's as someone that's not played the game, I don't know if you can really sit there and say that it's Tarkov-esque. It's not Tarkov. I've played Tarkov.
I've never really played Dark Souls games. I can still say it's Dark Souls-esque.
But I'm telling you,
to me, it looks like Tarkov. It has very similar aspects of the gameplay to Tarkov. It has very similar ways of going through menus to Tarkov. You have 3 factions, just like Tarkov does. We're not stating that it's a bad thing that it's Tarkov-esque. We're just stating that's the closest thing that you have to compare when you're like, hey, should I play this game? Well, do you like Tarkov? Yeah. Then you'd probably like it. It's a Tarkov-esque game.
I completely disagree. If you like Tarkov and you go in playing this game, you most likely will probably not like this game because this game is not Tarkov. Tarkov loads you into a PvP focused centric game mode map. That's what you do. You're instanced, and that's what it is. That's not what this is. Like if you and people that are going to get this game thinking it's Tarkov and comparing it to Tarkov,
levels, right?
like it's even later levels, like, it's still not Tarkov. Like, it's not close to Tarkov. It's closer to Arma.
I'm just saying I feel like it's a Tarkov light. Like it takes some from Tarkov, it takes some from Arma. I still get a squad feel. I don't know about you. I do get a squad feel from this game, but in a different sense. Like if you just took like some of the features, like I said, like from Tarkov, being like the looting features, the tasks and everything, and you put it into a persistent world of like squad or something, I think that's what you get out of this game. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's been comparing it to Tarkov as a bad thing. Like I don't know why you have such an aversion to that.
Because it's not
on Tarkov right now, but that's because of everything else they've been doing. The Tarkov and everything else is a great game.
I'm not saying you guys. I'm not. Okay. It's the watching the Pestily channels, watching all of the Tarkov streamers, the Cleans, the Stone Mountains, all of these people that their community is literally shitting on this game because they're just like, it's Tarkov, it's fucking Tarkov, like Tarkov, and I'm like, and literally even the streamers are like, guys, it's the developers are like, guys, it's not fucking Tarkov, and this is a fault of the game, the reporting, like game news, like everyone's just like Tarkov killer, Tarkov fucking killer, Tarkov killer, and it's like, oh my God, like, yeah, from the moment that you step foot into the game, it does not feel like Tarkov. Like once you get on that helicopter and you drop into that world and you understand, you're like, this is not Tarkov. This is not what Tarkov is, like, completely. And I don't know, man. I'm fucking in love with it. Like, I will say, like, the downside to the games is that, it's not optimized, but it's early access. I get that. It's got some optimization.
It's definitely not optimized.
Yeah, there are some
for rough rigs. It is hard on.
Yeah, I mean, if you like, again, I can't compare. Like, I'm running on everything epic with, and I get like fucking 180 frames, but that is not fair because that's my rig, right?
I'll give you a testament. I have like a 37 Ti. I don't know, an i9 or something, and I get about like 50 frames at a good with that. That's with rough. FSR. When I go through brush, I get about like 20 frames.
How many
severely?
How many gigs of RAM do you have, if you don't mind me asking?
I'd have to look. I can't remember.
I
think it's 30, I think I have 32.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
Again, by no means it's not optimized. There are a lot of optimization issues that are
early access.
Yeah, it's very early access.
Yeah,
but
I give that a pass.
I'm willing to give it a pass on that front. Give it time. I hope they optimize it in time. They need to, but right now I'm not gonna fault them for that.
I also will give them props. First game I've ever played shooter wise turns off motion blur out of the gate. Motion blur's turned off. Like, I've
had some other games do that recently.
I'm like,
I think they're finally starting to get the memo. Like, nobody wants fucking motion blur, dude. This game already gives me motion sickness. I don't need to add on top of it. Like,
So aside from that, though, like, again, some of your early access issues, but again, the game, in my opinion, as far as like functioning wise, runs better than most. Like it runs better than most of these games that come out like this.
I will say another con to me is the AI. I don't think the AI is very smart.
They're not intelligent when they get alerted right out of the gate. But I will say I have played more, and last night I had some shit where, again, they're still AI, right? They're not like, but I had dudes that were hiding. I had guys that were chucking grenades. They were flanking. They were using different techniques. I was like, dude, what the fuck is this? And it was very much like not the typical AI that I went up against.
Again, I haven't played too much, but I just from the short period I played, I was like, how am I going? I'm going up against AI that are shooting me through wooden doors that can't even see me, and shooting me through bushes, which is a big fault of these style of games. You know, the worst part about Tarkov is the AI of being able to see you through, you know, an opaque obstacle that you're not able to see them through, but they're AI, so they can shoot through that. You know,
it's going to be an issue. It's going to be an issue with a lot of those,
for
a
all
lot
of these
these.
games. Yeah. That, I don't know if that's ever going to be fixed.
I was going to say that's a huge issue with a lot of these like tactical shooter games. Is like the only way that they can make the difficulty for that AI to match with the difficulty that you're going to state is going to be basically ESP, more or less, being able to see you through
I'm
objects.
also not sure if it's a hit reg issue or what, but you know, they might be spongy to me. I've shot many of them in the head with both the AK and just like the side pistol you get, and they take like 2 to 3 shots. And these are the AI, not the army dudes who have like bandanas. And you know, these guys have bandanas and shit. I know armor,
I don't know. I mean,
or anything. They don't go down in that in 1 to 2 shots.
It's weird because you're saying that, and again, like Pika, my brother, and some other are again saying like, dude, I'm unloading, but then I'll come around and like, again, not to the same guys that they're shooting, so there's no like they've taken damage, and I'm gonna come around and I literally just line up, headshot, bop, drop them, they're down. I'm
lining up, I'm waiting,
I don't know.
I'm holding my breath, and
it's that
head.
It's that 180.
It's got to be a hit reg thing.
It's 180 FPS, bro.
Frame rate,
something.
I don't know, man. Like there's and in fact we may see it right here. I don't know, but like there's a situation where my brother is about to have it. He's about to round this corner, and he gets is he? No, but I already killed him. Did I kill him? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, he was about to round that corner. That guy right there, and literally he's just like, do. I'm like, dude, I don't know if you have fucking bad aim or whatever else, but I literally come up on the corner and just pop him right in the dome, and he's dead. So again, all I'm saying is it's $35 fucking dollars. If you like Arma, if you like DayZ, if you like those persistent worlds and whatever. This fucking game is, in my opinion, amazing. Yes, I'm gonna tell you I'm biased because I love the fucking thing.
You like Tarkov?
$35. I fucking hate Tarkov. I hate fucking Tarkov.
I will say at the moment,
$35.
I got to put more time into it, but I think it's gonna definitely shape up to be a solid competitor in the genres. Just at the moment, I'm still hesitant to like really give it, you know, my full like appraisal. You know, like I don't know.
I love it. I'm in love with it.
Thanks all for tuning in to the Patch Notes. And if you enjoyed and want to see more, you can catch us live every Thursday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, or catch us after the fact at anchor.fm/prepatch podcast. See you next time.